And we are live. We are Saint. What's good? What's happening? What's happening, y'all? Y'all know what time it is. Welcome, welcome, welcome. DL Saint, I really want to know podcast. Y'all know how we get down. Oh man, we're gonna have some fun today. Special shout out to the Fresh and Fit Discord. I know y'all up in here, y'all. This is for y'all. This is for y'all, especially. You know what I mean? So happy to have y'all. So glad y'all here. Shout out to all my people, man. I know the Joes are gonna be up in here, man. Sister Candace, brother Cody's in here. It's gonna be crazy, y'all. It's gonna be crazy. And thank y'all. Happy Thursday, man. I hope all is well wherever you are sitting. I hope it is good. I'm glad you're here and for giving us an opportunity to fellowship and have a good time right here and seeing what it really is, man. Because we all in these trenches, man, and I love getting reports from those people who are downrange, man, because everyone's out there saying what they want to say about this dating world, about the married world, about relationships and this and that, but don't nobody know it like the people who are living it, right? So that's what we're doing over here, man. We bringing the real deal. Um, this is gonna be fun. I'm already seeing the chat is lively. Can't wait. So y'all know what it is, man. We're here to talk about the masculine burden of performance. Right? That's what we're here to talk about, man. Is that a thing to this day? Because it certainly was a thing when I was growing up, right, man? And historically speaking, in our species, men had to be men, right? That's always been the case. And it seems to me that, maybe we have lost our way as a society here in the West. I know the men in Central and South America are still men. I know there are men in the Middle East, right? I know there are men in the Far East. Certainly in Ukraine right now, men are men. So what has happened in America? So we're going to talk about this, and we are going to bring our subject matter expert for today is a guy who I respect so much. I'm so glad that he is part of my circle, and so glad that this brother is willing to step out, you know what I mean, and come down range and lead from the front. You know what I mean? Because we need more men like this. Y'all know him. I know him. Everybody know him from the Fresh and Fit world. You know what I mean? That's how I met him, Fresh and Fit fam. And the Discord world knows all about him, man. He's plugged in, and here he is without further delay, man. Ladies and gentlemen, Viking Paradigm up in this piece, man. Thank you so much for being here, bro. How you feeling?
I'm feeling pretty good, man. Thanks for having me. Appreciate it.
Man, thanks for even coming, bro. So before we get started, I'd like to give you an opportunity, man, to tell everybody who you are, what you're about, how you came to, how did we come to know each other? How did you come to, into this red pill manosphere, mano swamp world, right? And just because I know a lot of people know you, but there's a lot of people on my platform who may not.
All right. Well, so I'm Viking Paradigm. If you want to know my real name, Myron doxed me a couple times by shouting out my real name instead of my online name. So shout out to Myron. For me, how I found this space was a lot of guys, I guess, they are like trying to get help with women. They Google like, oh, how do I get my girlfriend back, or why did she leave me, stuff like that. For me, it was like how to make money. I grew up very poor, so my dad was an alcoholic. I didn't have two nickels to rub together, right, as they say. But I was always a hard worker. It was instilled in me, even from my alcoholic father. It was always, you got to work for it, right? You work for it, you earn it. That's how it works. So for me, finding the red pill space was just a matter of like looking up how to actually make money without getting screwed over. Like, what are the pitfalls and stuff like that? How education. So that's how I found this space. And then when I found this space, I realized all the other things I was messing up. I wasn't on my fitness. I was out of shape. I found out, I wasn't leading my relationship, but so my relationship was out of shape. And so I was fighting with my girl all the time over stuff. I didn't know why we were fighting. Right. But it was because of me not fulfilling that masculine burden performance, doing the whole 50-50 thing. And I can tell you firsthand, I've tried all the crap that they tell you to do in the mainstream. And I'm a perfectionist, right? So I always try to do the best that I can at anything I do. So I was trying to do all the right things. Doesn't work. So I just tell guys, these are the mistakes that I made. This is what I learned. And I'm doing much better now. And I've been earning respect from people like yourself, as well as Fresh and Fit, guys that are actually out there embracing the masculine burden of performance. Hope that makes sense.
It makes total sense, man. Total sense, bro. That's what I'm talking about. And that's for you. Shout out to you. Shout out to Big Mo up in the piece, bro. I see you. Yes, sir, my boy
Yes, sir.
Viking. Do you want to be right or do you want to win? Yo, Big Mo, what's up? Shout out to the Discord, Fresh and Fit Discord. Shout out to all my day ones who are in here right now. Sister Candace, I see you. You know what I mean, brother Cody, I see you. Tobias the Traveler, I see you, bro. Yeah, we're definitely gonna be dropping the link. We're gonna be dropping it later on. We're not. We want to, start the conversation, and then we're gonna definitely drop the link because I want to hear from everyone on this. I don't care how young or old you are. I want to hear everyone's take on this thing. And before we get started, y'all know what it is. Where y'all copy at? Where y'all copy at? Why women deserve less? Put them up. Put them up. Myron Gaines out there making it happen, man. I'm telling you, that is a good read, people. Don't let the title trigger you. You need, listen, people. I don't care who you are, red pill, blue pill, banana pill, doesn't matter to me. Read that book. Read that book. I will be doing a breakdown. I'm gonna review that book on a breakdown of this book on Tuesday. I haven't made the thumbnail yet, but it's gonna be on Tuesday. I said Monday before, but I want to make it on Tuesday because we just have more time and give more people an opportunity to come over here. So it won't be us messing around fighting for market share, and I want people to be there live so they can comment. So make sure y'all check it out. Yeah, man, we're definitely going to be showing all the chats as we go. But forgive me if I don't read all the chats. Brother Dino's in the house. Dinosaur was good, fam. Hey, I'm about to start watching Picard. So we're gonna talk about it next week, man. Brother Dino is my we be geeking out, man, on the sci-fi tip. Yo, that's right. That's right. Even retired thug dudes love science fiction, y'all. We be up on here talking about that on this platform as well. We talk about everything under the sun here. Why? Because I really want to know. Y'all mean? So, Brother Viking, the masculine burden of performance. What is that, bro?
Well, for a lot of guys, they try to paint it as something that's subjective. But going back to what you touched on already is that our hunter-gatherer roots as human beings, a lot of people forget that. This is something that women struggle to deal with because they talk about men bottling up their emotions and stuff like that. Men don't bottle up their emotions, right? Weak men will bottle up their emotions because they'll be like a woman and they'll need some relief. A masculine man, a man that's embracing his masculine burden of performance, understands that he needs to be primed all the time. He needs to be ready to go. And the way that you do that is by harnessing and controlling that masculine energy, right? And that's something that a lot of guys learn through fighting, through combat sports, through, football, whatever it might be, because you learn to let out that aggression in a constructive way rather than a destructive way. I agree strongly with something that Zuby said when he was on the Fresh Fit podcast recently, is that he said men are either creating or they're destroying. And if you're not creating, you're destroying. And I see that to be very true because that was the reason why I typically had female friends growing up, because all my male friends were just bored and wanting to go destroy things. Me, I like building things. I've always naturally liked to take things apart, fix them, or build new things out of them. Machines, like even though I was dirt poor, I always had video game systems. I always had VCR, DVD players, TVs, because I would take the ones people threw away and I would fix them. I would, go in and repair. And I had a knack for that. So I just played to that strength. So bringing this back around to what is the masculine burden of performance? Masculine burden of performance is recognizing as a man, an individual, nobody's coming to save you. And it's on you to be your own hero. And I take this a step further. I say, don't be the hero, because heroes usually die young, as they say, right? I choose to be the anti-hero, which means that I practice enlightened self-interest that Rollo Tomasi talks about. Put the oxygen mask on yourself so that way you can put the oxygen mask on others. And that's what I've been doing. This is what's gained me. I tell guys all the time, the masculine burden of performance is being respectable. A lot of guys keep feeling entitled to respect just for existing, like women are, right? That's not how this shit works. To be a respected man, you have to be a respectable man first. One comes before the other. So just boiling it down to brass tacks, very simplistic, that is the masculine burden of performance. Nobody's coming to save you. You have to save yourself. And you do this by building yourself every day into a respectable human being.
Man, that's what's up, man. That's fire. Big Mo, I see you. Hey, Big Mo, when we drop the link, bro, you're gonna have to definitely cam up and come on up here, man. Like we did a show with Big Mo and I on this platform, bro. Still, I want to say it was like my #1 viewed show. Nothing but love for that brother, watching him grow, man, and checking out his art. Yo, Big Mo, for real. We need to put links in here to your music, man. We need to put links in here to your music. You are a mod right now, man, just so you can do that, man. Let's let people know what you're doing so we can support. Y'all have no idea how talented that man is. And ladies, when we drop the link today, please, please, please jump up here. We need to have y'all input. We must have it. You know what I mean? This is normally when we do this is a one-way street. It's like this is a male thing, but ladies, I'm so appreciative that you guys are here. But you have intel that is sorely needed. Brother Viking, I heard what you said. I agree with you 100%. You know what I mean? With the with as men, we need to show and prove. But Mama said everybody gets a trophy, bro. What about that? It's not my fault, bro. You know what I mean? If I got thyroid problems, it's not my
Excuses.
fault. Is that what that
Excuses.
is?
So my
Excuses.
my dad broke it down in a very articulate way. He said, "Son, there's a difference between a reason and an excuse. A reason you don't have any control over, an excuse you do. So if you have control over it and you can change it, that's just an excuse. You're just making roadblocks for yourself. You're getting in your own way. I told guys last night, you're tripping over your own freaking feet. Most people don't even realize, oh, I need validation. I don't need validation from anybody. The fact that I get validation from you, I get validation from Mo, I get validation from other people is a bonus because I'm on that path, because I'm doing more. I'm not going to sit here and I'm the big jit, I'm not going to act arrogant to the point of hubris. Right. That's something I preach about a lot, is learning to check your own ego. As a man, your ego is going to get in your ear. Your ego is going to lie to you, and other manipulative people around you, the yes men and the manipulative bitches, they're going to whisper in your ear too. They're going to tell you, no, you got this. You're right. And that's why, going back to what Big Mo said, the question, I designed that question. I ask guys all the time in the Fresh and Fit Discord, guys that I'm dealing with, do you want to be right or do you want to win? And there's no real wrong answer, but I like to hear what people's answers are, because and I'll reveal the secret to the trick of the question, because it's kind of a secret trick question, because how you answer will tell me where your mindset is at. And the thing is, in order for you to win, you have to be willing to be wrong to correct errors. As men, you can't sit there. A lot of guys I see get stuck on the perception. Oh, how does this make me look? I don't want to look like an idiot, so let me just gaslight everybody on some dumb shit I just said and try to convince everybody that, oh, no, you misunderstood what I said. No, I read exactly what you said, and I'm calling it out for the weak BS it is. But they don't want to look bad. They want to save face, right? They'd rather die on that hill before they dishonor their name. That's your ego getting in your own way, right? In order to be right, you have to be willing to be wrong. So the only path to victory is to be willing to at least entertain the idea of changing your mind that, oh, maybe it's me. Maybe I'm the problem. A lot of guys don't want to admit that. They're not willing to start at that point. What if I'm the problem? So I always bring it back to me. If I see somebody else that I'm critical of, I immediately remind myself, don't let it be me, right? A lot of guys take this mentality that's backwards, where they're just like, it could never be me. But the thing is, that's hubris right there. It could always be you that's the problem. And you being able to identify if it's you that's the problem or the other person, you got to eliminate yourself out of that pool first. Am I the problem? Maybe. So if I look at that, identify it logically, say, oh yeah, I'm the problem there. Correct it. Then I can come back to that person with humility and pride that I corrected an error. A lot of people just want people to think they corrected their, oh, I'm sorry. Keep letting me do my fuck shit. They want to abuse forgiveness, right? That's why I say, if you apologize to me, I want to see action to back it up. I tell my son this. If you apologize, there better be action backing that up. Otherwise, it's meaningless. And now you're suffering the lesson that the boy that cried wolf did, which is when you cry wolf too many times and there's no wolf there, then when the wolf is there, you cry wolf, nobody's coming to save you. That's what a lot of these guys end up getting screwed up on, is they keep crying wolf, abusing that forgiveness, and they don't get anywhere, and they wonder why.
And I'm glad you said that, bro, especially about the I'm sorry thing. People, if you're out there listening to my voice, don't say I'm sorry unless you mean it. And to back up what Brother Viking is saying, back it up with action. I am sick and tired of people saying they're sorry. People that don't even know me. I was walking into a grocery store or something like that. Came around a blind corner there. Some young woman came in, she was startled. Oh, I'm sorry. Sorry for what? What are you sorry for? You walking and I'm walking. I wasn't in your way, right? You didn't impede my progress. It's just people say I'm sorry. In LA, when I was living in LA, people would say that they're sorry instead of saying hello, right? I'm sorry, hello. Hey, what are you sorry about? You sorry for saying hi? Like it's become a thing where it was just one of those catchwords, right? The cat, I'm sorry, it was just, like Brother Viker said, it means nothing. It means nothing. If you're going to apologize to someone, say you apologize. Hey, I apologize. State what you did wrong, right? And offer your apology. At least do that. Don't be walking around just saying I'm sorry just to be saying it's right. It's so right. Sister Candace says self-reflection and accountability are lacking in today's society. I could not agree more. That is fire. We got Nightish in the house, man. I see the Joes are showing up. Like I said, Miss AK, eight ladies in here. You know what I mean? It is what it is. I see the chat is lively. I'm so glad y'all are here. Listen, as an old man, as an air traffic controller, retired air traffic controller, I'll let y'all in on this. Brother Vike is 100% correct. People are afraid to make the attempt because they think it's going to make them look a certain way. If you are a man, you must go out there and be bold. You must. You must. Fortune favors the bold. You must be bold to get out there. All these dudes out here, these bottom 80 guys want to know how do I get a baddie? How do I get a this and that? I tell you how you don't get her. You don't get her by sitting in the basement, staying fat, right? Playing video games on Twitch, being a simpleton, sending in 10, 20, $30,000 a year to these women who don't even see you, bro. That's not how you do it. You got to be bold. You got to step up like this brother did right here. You got to look at yourself in the mirror and be like, yo, I'm fat, right? Shout out to Big Mo. Big Mo placed himself in the fresh and fit world, put himself in a role of authority. We need this man on that platform to make the content as good as it is. He went in there knowing Myron's going to roast me. Man, Mo, I hope you can jump on in here, bro. I really do when we drop the link so he can tell his story. Mo is down a ton of weight, bro. He done shed a person. Where Discord and Mo, where you at now?
He's almost at 100 pounds lost.
Almost at 100 pounds lost, bro. The average baddie's like 120. He didn't almost birth the person, bro. Shout out to Big Mo, man. And it takes a man who accepts that burden of performance to do just that. Mo can sit back and just be like, accept me for who I am. I'm just gonna sit here and do this and that and stay fat, but he's not. And he's out there putting himself out there in the music world. And one more thing before I turn it over to you, man, because you're dropping some dimes. I'm like, shit, man, I ain't really even got to talk too much because you bringing a fire. But I did want to put this out there. For those in the fresh and fit world and for those who are not. For those who are looking to network and to invest into themselves. Fresh Prince CEO has just started a networking group. A networking group. Now, it's going to cost you a little bit of money, but I think the price is fair for what you get. If you are looking to take advantage of someone who has established a proven network, a millionaire who knows what he's doing and has the ability to do things like secure a loan on an exotic car or get his passport in a day. If you want to take advantage of that particular network, you can. Right now, he has 100 slots open. It'll cost you about $100 a month. It's 100 slots open. It includes a lot of value, a lot of benefits. You get an opportunity to sit down and talk to him. It includes, I think it's Zoom calls he's going to have on that. You get access to a members-only chat where you're going to be part of this network. Yo, if anybody out there, Big Mo, if you have that link, please put that in the, drop that in the chat for us, man. If anyone's looking to take advantage of it, if you're young, I'm not going to lie to you. I wish when I was 20, 21 years old that I can invest $1,200 and be with someone who has an established network. I ain't gonna lie to you, y'all. And I'm not just saying that because I'm real cool with Fresh. I got a lot of respect for him. That man's a good dude. He's done so much for me as an individual, just off rip. I'm not saying these things because I'm friends with the man. I'm saying these things because if you're a young person out there and you're looking to increase your network 100-fold, I think this will do it. And at $100 a month, I don't think that's a bad price point at all, bro. So, yo, Big Mo, or if you're there it is right there. It's in the chat. Please check it out. You know what I mean? It's definitely worth it. Check it out. And thank you, bro. I thank you so much, Big Mo, for rocking out. So let's get back on track here, man. What do you say to those dudes, brother Viking, who were raised? Maybe they were raised by a pack of women. Maybe they were told everyone gets a trophy, right? Maybe they're, hey, they believe that bullying is bad. What do you say to these young men and some of these old men out there?
Well, here's the thing, because they've been given participation trophies their whole life, when they're in that situation, they've been congratulated for basically just existing. Oh, good job. Right? Good job is kind of an insult if you really think about it. It's kind of patronizing, right? Because, it should be assumed that the person's going to do a good job. You congratulate them, that kind of implies that they would do less than a good job, right? Off the rip, and you're surprised. But a lot of people don't think about it that way. So what I try to remind guys is, like, most of you have never tasted true victory. And by victory,
Ooh.
I mean you've never experienced real success with women. Same thing with these, like, rich dudes that say, well, I just pay her to go away. It's like, well, if you really had game, you wouldn't have to pay her to go away. You just say, I got to get back to work. Please leave. And she'll fucking leave. But they come up with these mental gymnastics. Oh, I'm paying for the box, so I get exactly what I pay for, and all this stuff. And it's like you're treating interaction like that as a financial transaction. Going full tool use, not understanding that you can get a lot more and a rewarding experience from that woman by performing as a man. Right? By having some social calibration, a little bit of patience, and responding to situations correctly. The issue for most men is because they've been coddled so much, they keep expecting somebody to come swoop them up and save them, like they see all the females getting saved. They expect, somebody's going to give them a cash app, so they complain and whine to their buddies rather than actually getting out there and making more money. They've not tasted true victory in multiple aspects of life. So from their point of view, they're comfy. They're like, I'm good. I got this. Right? Everything, I've been told that everything's going to be good. Relationship equity is going to, build up over time, and I'll be able to cash that in. Like, I even see guys try to cash the respect in. Right? They don't realize that it's one of those commodities like credit. It's not a real thing. You can't just buy stuff with it. When you get respect and admiration from people, that's not something you cash in. That's something that you just let build up, and then you reap the byproduct, the reward of that, right? But a lot of dudes, they're like, oh, well, I get part of the Fresh CEO's network, right? And all of a sudden, I'm going to cash that in, and I'm going to be a millionaire overnight. No, that's not how it works. You're getting access to other guys that have done the work and that can tell you that's the path that you want to go down if you want to achieve these goals. These are the methods that will allow you to compete and potentially win. Now, it's not a guarantee, but if you bust your ass and you keep getting back up when you get knocked down, don't mind the fact that you look like a fool doing it. Learn from your mistake. I say what Myron and Fresh say all the time: no losses, only lessons. And I take it a step further. I said the only time it's a loss is when you fumble that L. Most guys will not hold the L, so they never learn. Okay, they just get a loss, and then they get butthurt, and then they go and cry to their friends, their family, and they're like, "Oh, woe is me," right? And they want to give up. Well, that's cowardice, right? That's you bowing out of the fight. And the thing is, even if you pull over or wipe out in the race is still going. The race of life is still going. That's why when guys say, oh, I'm leaving the manosphere, or, I never was really part, it's like, it doesn't matter what you think, what is. We're all in competition, and most of these guys just have never tasted real victory, so they think what they got tastes fine. Why improve? What do I know? I have no clue what I'm talking about. I'm just some bald white dude on the internet. Who gives a shit what I have to say? Right? Damn. But the thing is, clearly I've done something. I've, once again, shout out to Fresh. His advice: seek out high value people and offer them something worthwhile. What did I do? I went on Miami. I offered my skill with the internet. So not only did I overhaul the studio's internet, but I did that work for Fresh. Thus, Fresh is in my network. I've got Fresh's number now because I did something valuable to him. I made it where his stream stopped lagging. Anybody who's watching Fresh's vlog, live streams and stuff like that beforehand, his internet was messing up. It was hiccuping all the time. He got with me. I hooked him up. Boom, no more lag. He can go live whenever he wants. No drama, no issues. So, like I said, most of these guys, I just tell them, you need to level up and taste some real victory, and then you won't be able to go back. That's the key.
Jesus, man. Man, look. Hey, he gave me goosebumps, and I'm an old man. He got me geared up, ready to go back down range. You got me ready to jump some more. You feel me? The thing is this, people. Our generation, the old cats, right? We got outside. We had to go outside. We weren't allowed inside. Think about that for a moment. They would put us out when the sun came up. We got to come home for lunch. We had to go back outside. We couldn't come back and had to be back home on the street at home by the time the street lights came on. We stayed outside. We were always pushing each other. We were out there in our little packs doing our thing. And as we got older, right, we still had that brotherhood. We went and we challenged ourselves playing sports, right? We challenge ourselves, just being outside, standing up for yourself, getting into fights, right? I say it all the time. If you ain't never got punched in your mouth, bro, you don't even talk to me, player. I don't want to hear nothing about being tough come out of your mouth. If you ain't ever been punched in that mouth, if you ain't never tasted your blood, man, you ain't got nothing to say to me, man. Go join the dojo. Go join the gym. Go MMA, right? Go jiu-jitsu, BJJ, Brazilian jiu-jitsu. Go do that. Go get hurt, man. As a man, you cannot grow unless you understand pain. And it goes with what Brother Viking is saying. What is he actually saying? You need to know victory. Those victories come, small victories every day. Being able to drag yourself out of the house, get off the sofa when you're down. That's a victory to be able to do that. Keeping your room clean, keeping your house clean, that's a victory. Paying your bills, that's a victory. You know what I mean? Being able to go out with confidence and walk up and cold approach a woman. Cold approach, whether you win or not, just to be able to go up to a stranger and get her to talk to you, that's a victory. Y'all not tasting any of this, but you want the results of the victorious. It doesn't work that way, people. This is the masculine burden of performance, right? All these dudes, they'll go, I ain't got no back. I need a baddie. A lot of y'all don't deserve one because you don't know how to win. Period. Get out there and win. Figuring it out. And even no losses, only lessons. I'm going to start incorporating that. Shout out to Myron and Fresh. No losses, only lessons. On that platform, and we got a lot of Fresh and Fit family here, so y'all know what I'm saying is true. On that platform, they don't just talk about their victories. They talk about the lessons that they learned taking these losses. Fresh talked about this. I don't know if y'all were members back then, but about a year and a half ago, maybe a little longer, before Fresh had the big chains in the cars and everything, he was networking this. He networked with some rapper somewhere, and Fresh went out and rented an exotic car for this guy's video shoot. And man, he learned a very valuable lesson because the guy was BSing him around, took the car, was driving all over the place, doing all kind of crazy stuff. Fresh got the car. Fresh was responsible for this exotic vehicle. He shared this story on the platform. He took an L. Now, he recovered, didn't he? You know what I mean? Because I think he rented a Lamborghini for the guy. Fresh has his own Lamborghini now. Right? He's learning his lesson. He's taking his licks. He got punched in the mouth. And he got right back up and got back to it. It wasn't a loss. It was a lesson. This is what y'all need to be doing. This is a part of the masculine, the burden of being a man. This is it. This is it. Right?
Let's real talk.
Yeah, go ahead, brother. Go ahead.
I was gonna say it's the same thing. A lot of guys, what they apply the red pill only to like their dating life because that's usually where guys are suffering the most. Not understanding getting sex is relatively easy once you understand what women look for in men. But the thing is like, can you make her want to retain you, right? And you have to vet people, right? It's not just about men or women or what. You have to learn how to vet people. That's why the red pill also applies to business. Fresh talks about this all the time. You have to be able to spot bullshitters, right? If you can't it's pimp or be pimped out there, folks, right? Either you're the one doing the pimping or if you're not doing the pimping, like, oh, yeah, I'm not a pimp. I don't do anything. Guess what? You're getting pimped by somebody, whether it's your boss, your girlfriend, whatever it might be. Somebody is using you. And this actually goes back to when I was on your show the other day. One of the people in chat asked, like, why would you give less and ask for more in terms of regards to my long-term relationship. And I said that part of the reason why I'm winning now is because I pulled back. Well, guess what? That's another part of the masculine burden performance that a lot of people really overlook, is the power of no. Telling your woman no. Most guys won't fucking do it because they're too goddamn scared that they're going to lose her.
And let me jump in real quick right there.
Yeah,
let me jump in real quick. And I say that, and just real quick, I say this to all you young dudes out here. If y'all been around me any amount of time, you've heard me say this. You are not a real dude. You're not a top tier guy. You're not a top G if you've never said no to a dime. Period. That's not a challenge, gentlemen. I'm talking about you got a beautiful woman, a legit dime, walk up to you and want to give you the Foxy Brown. She's like, you can have this, and you say no. That is real. That goes to what Brother Viking is talking about right now. Real talk, man. And normally people like put ones in the chat if you've ever said no to the dime. I'm not even gonna do that. You know what I mean? This is, we gentlemen over here. I just want y'all to put that in y'all mind. If you sitting around, you so thirsty that you can't say no to a woman, a beautiful woman, then you ain't made it there yet, bro. You got more work to do. I just had to get that out. Keep going, bro.
No, that's good, because this goes back to women chit testing men. One of the things that they'll do is and once again, it was a female viewer that actually posed that question, right? And it seems counterintuitive, especially to a woman. Like, why would him giving less to his woman and asking for way more from her? How does that work? It's because it tells my woman that I'm on a mission. I'm doing the work. I need her to add as much value to my life to enable me as a man to continue to be on mission. I told her this the other day. Every time you distract me with some drama or some BS that doesn't matter to test me or whatever it might be it in your feelings, that takes away from my time to do things. So, and I've seen this happen with a family member where her husband, ended up making her obese because he loved her too much. Too much of anything is a bad thing. If you love your wife too much, she'll become fat. She'll become, combative. She'll do all these fucked things to you in your life and distract you from your mission. And most guys' immediately reaction is to be, a hero. And, I'm going to save her. You can't save her by trying to stop her from drowning you both. You have to let her calm down on her own and tell her, no, I'm not going to give you that attention when you're throwing a temper tantrum, because any attention is good attention to a female, right? And this goes for even low-minded, dudes that are in their feelings, is that they just like all the attention. This is where you get internet trolls from. This is where you get a lot of the dudes going wild in chat, wanting to roast bitches. This is a problem because you're getting into your feelings and you may not even know what feelings you're in as a man. Right? A lot of guys are taught to be in touch with their feelings, but they only get in touch with like one feeling, like, oh, well, I'm not angry, therefore I'm not in my feelings. It's like, but you're clearly frustrated and you won't let it go. So it is, it's not bothering you. It is bothering you. And your actions speak way louder than any of the words that you're saying in those moments, because you're fixated on trying to make things look a certain way. So landing the plane on this, bringing it back around, dudes just need to learn how to say no, not only to their woman, but in business. See, this is why women are shit testing you when they're seeing if they're going to ask for some wild shit, because if you can't say no to her, you're bitch made in business 99% of the time. You're not going to be able to say no to a bad deal, right? And they need to know that you can say no to them. It goes back to, not to, get into the whole pimping thing. But if you watch the documentary American Pimp, there's a hoe in there that lays this out. She gets asked, why do you need a pimp? Because he's going to give me what I need, not what I want. That's what the woman said. He's going to tell me no. Otherwise, I would spend all the money and be broke. And that's what you see with a lot of these single women. They spend all their money on a bunch of materialistic stuff, the she economy. Right? Shout out to Rolo for bringing this to light. The banks are planning on women not having men and spending a fuck ton of cash in the next 10 years. They've been planning for this shit. They see where it's going. So if the banks are planning for it, then why would I ignore that? Right? If the people that actually run the money in the world are planning for this, they knew this was coming thanks to feminism, because men are not telling their women no. And then when they do tell them no, they can just cash in their marriage contract. And instead of, through, rich or poor till death do us part, they're just like, well, as soon as we're not rich and we're poor, I'm out. As soon as, sickness comes, I'm out, because I've got a contract that now lets you do that. That's one of the things I did positively as a blue pill. Is I was told by my grandfather, never sign an unconscionable contract, a one-sided contract. I read the marriage contract. I saw that it was one-sided and chose not to sign it. Now I'm still committed to my girl. She's in chat right now, right? And she backs me up all the time. Why? Because I am the leader. So it is my responsibility to be able to say no when it needs to be said, both to my son, to my woman, and to my business partners. It doesn't make a difference. It's all about understanding the context and when no means no. I hope that makes sense.
It makes tons of sense, man. Tons of sense. And Sister Candace, thank you so much. Thank you so much, love. I mean, everything you do for me, you mod for me, you always just support me, comment, and team replay, and you're gonna donate $10. I thank you so much, love. And brother Michael, same to you. We just had his birthday a couple of days ago. Yes, y'all. Brother Michael and Sister Candace are mods over here with me. And I am so honored to have them. You know what I mean? So honored, man. I mean, bro, I truly appreciate y'all, man. And I see Brother Mark is my favorite. Devil Dog is in here, man. That's like my favorite Marine. He's in here holding down the West Coast. Brother Marcus is a very, very religious man, as all Marines are. And I don't know if you guys know this, but Marines have a special prayer. You want to hear it? Here it go.
Pray! This is my rifle. There are many like it, but this one is mine.
And that's how they get down, man. Shout out to you, Brother Marcus. You know what I mean? Good to see you. Dr. B in the house, man. Thank you so much, brother, for the love. The $10 super chat. Viking cooking up a whole meal. Yes, he is indeed. Sister Candace, got to throw something into the pot because Viking is cooking. He absolutely is. Hey, one's in the chat if y'all want to see Viking with his own podcast. Yo, let me put a bunch of ones in the chat right now. One's in the chat, man. The Viking should have his own podcast, y'all, because I can't wait to see it. And when he does it, I'm going to be there to support wholeheartedly. Primal Studies in the house. What's good, fam? I see you, man. I see you. You know what I mean? This in the medical field, military. He's an Army nurse. Can't go to war without him, man. Primal Studies, welcome. Thank you so much for being here. Listen, y'all. Brother Viking made a really good point, and I got a video on this, man. In this world, in this existence, man, either you pimping or you being pimped. And that's one of the ways I look at it. Maybe because of my background and the way I came up. I got videos on this, yo. We did videos on this last year. You pimping or you being pimped in all facets of life at every level, right? You don't think that the White House was pimping America when the beer bug hit? Y'all don't think y'all was getting pimped? Sitting in the house getting pimped? Right? You don't think that was going on? Y'all think when you talk about pimp or being pimp, we just talking about some men taking advantage of women? Nah. Most women out here are pimping these dudes all day, every day. Like I said, look at the Simps, man. Look at all these simpletons out here. Look at Twitch. Look, all these platforms pimping, bro. You know what I mean? They taking a cut. So in this world, no matter what you do, you pimping or you being pimped. And if you can't sit there and figure that out, that's on you. And I don't care. You can sit there and fold your arms like, oh, I'm not playing. Yes, you are. You're born into this, bro. And there's only one way out. You feel me? So you might as well learn this game and get on. Figure this game out, bro. So pimping or being pimped, that's how it is. I'm sorry. Get used to it. I'm so sorry.
That's what I tell my son all the time. I tell my son when he's getting frustrated at video games and getting in his feelings, I tell him, son, don't get mad, get good. Focus that energy, all that negative energy, focus it to concentrate to produce something better. If you focus on, instead of getting mad at Call of Duty and bitching about your team and all this stuff, even in video game world, if you focus on, okay, I'm the problem. When I was big into Call of Duty, my solution to having bad teammates wasn't to sit there and flame my teammates. It was to carry them to victory. Oh, well, they don't deserve it. Like, who gives a shit? I still get the win. Just because they're along for the ride doesn't mean that I should lose myself just to spite them. That's not a team player. A team player is somebody that even if your team is struggling, you will pick up that flag and you will run it to the goal. I play capture the flag in real life and in video games, and I'm a flag runner. I'm that sneaky motherfucker that's going to run that flag hard and fast when I need to, and I'm going to be evasive and stealthy when I need to, and I'm going to get that flag to the goal. Not just because, oh, I'm part of the team. It's for both enlightened self-interest. If I win, then my team wins. Right? And instead of flaming them, I want to inspire them. They see me fucking run straight out of the spawn, grab the flag and bring it back and score right out the gate. Boom, my whole team's hyped. They're like, oh shit, this guy's got it. And guess what? They'll start following me. They'll start making sure they watch my 6 when I'm going in for the score, right? Because I'm taking action and I'm not sitting there whining and complaining. And sure, there's going to be one guy probably off on the side, throwing heckle side shots. But it all comes back to that leadership. You have to be a man of action. Survey the battlefield and figure out what you need to do to not only help you, but help your network. That's what I'm doing. And I appreciate you saying, like Viking needs his own podcast. But like I said, I'm still building. I tell guys in the Discord all the time, what I'm doing right now, this is practice for me. I'm on the training field. I'm cooking right now as a way of getting better because I'm very long-winded, as you can tell. And my biggest problem is actually reining that in and being more succinct, because I'll release a whole fire hose of information and people's brains will get cooked and melted and they'll be like, oh shit, what the fuck? And you start reeling like, just getting knocked back. Like he's landing hit after hit after hit. So I have learned to bring that in and also make it more entertaining, put some pizzazz on it, and so that way people can really vibe with what I'm saying. Whereas before I'd be more boring and drawn out and be like, okay, this is what it is. You haven't tasted victory yet. And I'd just be like, oh, this dude's boring. You just got to be fun, right? That's the thing, is that if you want people to learn, what do Fresh and Fit do? Edutainment. They're very fun, but they always throw in the real truth in there, mix that up. When you're trying to cook a good stir fry, you got to have a mix of good ingredients to make the meal enjoyable and fun, right? As well as satiating and fueling for your body. So taking the cooking analogy to the fullest, that's what you got to do. You got to create a good recipe, a well-balanced recipe so that way you get the results that you desire. But a lot of guys don't want to change their own recipe. They keep making the same bullshit recipe over and over again and wondering why it tastes bland.
Pimping and being pimp, bro. Fucking fire again, man. I'm going to stay on this horn. Listen, y'all. Listen. Everything he just said. Look at someone like Andrew Tate. Probably one of the most fiery dudes I've ever had the honor of meeting, right? Now, is he in top G mode 24/7, 365? No. And before we get into this, free Andrew and Tristan Tate and them young ladies. Last I checked, they had to let young ladies go back into confinement. Free them people. They ain't did nothing wrong. But if he was over there talking about, yeah, I'm the top G, and the president isn't real, and I have a Bugatti, and if you ain't listening to that. You got to bring the fire, bro. You got to come with it. If you a winner, you talk like one. Speak up. Like they say in the military, man. Y'all seen Full Metal Jacket? Sound off like you got a pair, bro. You need to be heard. Corey, man of God, $5 super chat. Thank you so much, brother. I really appreciate that. Shout out Viking. Shout out Brother Michael and Candace. And shout out to Saint. You were a pleasure to meet at the 1 million party, man. The honor was truly mine. Yo, thank you so much for coming through. I appreciate it. Number ones in the chat, bro. Looks like, hey, Viking, man, you're going to have to start a podcast, bro. Number ones in the chat. Until you start one, you're always welcome to come over here. And we can talk about whatever you want to talk about. I dropped the link, guys. Yo, if you come up, if you don't want to cam up, I just need to see you in the back check to make sure you ain't a bot or some, somebody with an agent with the matrix. I need to see that that's you. But I encourage you to cam up, because we want to open this conversation up to everybody on the platform. Ladies especially. Ladies. Which is more attractive? And y'all can tell me. A winner or a loser? A dude who's doing the work or a guy who's in the basement? Right? We know women tend to go after the top 20 guys and the bottom 80 are invisible. But ladies, could one of y'all come up and maybe tell us why that is? You know what I mean? And like I said, don't be shy. Don't be afraid, y'all. Big Mo, if you got time, man, definitely pop up, bro. I definitely want to talk to you, man. Like, it's being down there in Miami, got some stuff about that. And if there's anyone out there who has some questions, man, they really want to pop up, this is your opportunity, y'all. Come on up with the big dudes. You know what I mean? This is what we doing here. And I will say this, man, when it comes to dating, as an old head, bro, and I am talking to folks here in Tampa. We're up here in Tampa. If you're in Tampa or the greater Tampa area, Orlando, we get together once a month. Our first event is tomorrow. Once a month we get together. And it's from brothers I met when I was at the 1 million parties. You know what I mean? It's brothers that I've, interacted with on YouTube that happen to live in the area. We get together once a month and we just have talks because men need a tribe. I did not realize so many men today are friendless. They don't have a guy. They don't have anyone they can reach out to when they have troubles. No one, when they got a question, when they got drama, they need something. They have no one to talk to, just mom and dad, whoever. This is a problem. Men need a tribe, a clan, a clique, a gang, whatever you want to call it, a team. You need that. And part of your victories is when you get to a point where you can rise up within that group and become a leader. That's a victory. What are your thoughts on that? Guys need a team there, Brother Viking.
I agree. Actually, going to the question that Big Mo asked, like, was my most impactful episode of the podcast? And obviously, my first answer, I'm going to be biased, is obviously the show I'm on, where I gave Myron the $600 Yu-Gi-Oh card that he actually just showed off last night, activating polymerization to fuse all the holes on the podcast. But funny. I would say, kind of peeling back the layer a little bit, I would say it was probably the night of the 100K episode for me, because that was the night where Myron ended up actually skipping the gym. So for everybody that doesn't know, that is extremely rare for Myron, because he needed the internet fixed before that show, because it was the 100K, right? So we were behind the scenes. I'm on my iPhone, FaceTiming him and stuff like that, telling him how to do everything. And for me, I think, even though it wasn't on air, just working with Myron behind the scenes to help him finish his project and get that lined up so that way he could go live and not have to worry about all the internet issues that he'd been having. I think that was the most impactful for me, because that showed Myron that, I was backing up the guy that he gave a chance that had lost so much weight. For anybody that doesn't know, I'll say it again. Like, when I started my fitness journey back in the beginning of 2020, I was at 253 and I'm 5'9". So I was a pretty big boy, right? I was having trouble reaching back and wiping, right? That bad. And I realized that I needed to do something about it, but I didn't have the right information. Thanks to MLD introducing me to Myron and him giving his fitness presentations, I was able to show before and afters to Myron in the group and show I went from 253, I went all the way down to 152, right? I was able to get all the way down to that, and I lost a bunch of muscle mass doing that, being in a calorie deficit and working out so hard to whoop my ass back into shape over the course of a year. And then I actually cut workouts back, and I put on weight. My current weight as of today is 175, right? So I've lost a ton of weight, and as you can see, I'm doing pretty good. I'm not going to say that I'm the most aesthetically pleasing individual, and I still got some mid around the midsection there, but I would definitely say, landing the plane on this, I've done the work in that regard, which is what got my foot in the door. And I was able to prove myself to Myron that night and say, yo, we got this. He's like, we got about a half an hour before the show starts. Like, can we get it done now? And I'm like, if you work with me, yes, we did. So for me, I think that's answer the question. The night of the 100K.
That's what's up. And that's my, and that's for the $10 super chat, Big Bo. Man, I really appreciate it. Y'all don't think for a moment I don't appreciate every dime. I know people out there working hard for their bread, man. And to when people donate that money, like, when people see me out there on whatever platform I'm on, Fresh and Fit and all that, and they see the donations and stuff like that. I do it because I truly believe in the platform, and I truly believe in the message and the people behind the message, and that's why I do it. People like, man, you've invested a lot of donations in Fresh and Fit, like, bro, and you're gonna see a lot more. Like, those men are making a difference in our society. They are helping other men. The proof is in the pudding, man. Look at their results. You know what I mean? Last time I checked, 1.2 million supporters. 1.2 million. They've done all this in what 2.5 years or something like that. That is so difficult. And they're continuously putting out good content. You don't have to agree with everything. I know I don't. You do not have to agree with everything. But they are helping people. They are stopping dudes from deleting themselves. They're showing these men that there is a way. And I'm telling you that, man, this book right here, this book, I'm telling you, chapter 8, man, fire. What he's talking about in that book, fire. Shout out to Aaron Clary for editing that book, and shout out for his book, The Book of Numbers. If y'all haven't read that, y'all need to read that too. That is a must read, The Book of Numbers. So you can see what people, man, we can see what you are investing chasing women. Man, oh man. So I do appreciate that, man. Every dime, I appreciate it. I think Myron and Fresh were talking about doing another party. When that happens, I will be there. Whenever there's a live event with the Fresh and Fit fam, I will be there. You know what I mean? We was kicking it down there with Dr. B and King Life. Black Lemur showed up. Yo, it was fire down there, man. It was so many people down there, man. If y'all didn't make the last one, when they announced the next one, make sure you are there. It is definitely worth the investment. Coming down to Miami. Look, we were down there on a night. It was like one of the coldest nights in the history of Miami, and we still had a blast. That was so much fun. Maybe we get lucky and get Brother Cody to come down there, man. That's gonna be something. We get Cody as king in there. Lord have mercy. Help us out if he shows up. You know what I mean? But so Brother Viking, you always talking about building your business and you know and having that support. Now I want to talk about the support. So many women now, they want to wait at the finish line and they want to smash the winners. Shout out to Rich Cooper. Women don't build anymore. They wait at the finish line and they smash the winners. But I've noticed that the women who have committed relationships, who have successful relationships, they met their men when they were younger and they built with those guys and they followed those men to success. What's your take on that?
Well, that's the thing. There's two types of women, you know, because a lot of women understand that there's not enough at the finish line, right? You know, there's plenty of women. They know they're going to have to compete. Some women, like my girl, try to bet on a future winner, not just the guy that, you know, has actually been past the finish line and won a few races. Some of them want to look at a guy like, oh, he's got ambition. He's got confidence. He's got real life skills. That's a guy that they can bet on, right? That's what my girl did. But then I fed into all the BS, the blue pill stuff, and stopped fulfilling my masculine burden performance. So what'd she do? She ended up nagging me. She ended up fighting with me for years, right? This went on. And because I was such a naturally strong man, you know, being a natural born Viking by DNA and having all these combat skills and the ability to handle emergency situations like nothing, I've been told over and over again, you would make a great first responder. Right? Why? Because I always seem to know what to do in an emergency situation, right? And I can't explain it. I just always act, right? It's a sheer instinct for me in a lot of cases. But because I've accumulated so much knowledge, my brain's able to extrapolate all the stuff that I know to address the situation, boom, on the fly in the moment. So that made her want to bet on me, right? Because I built myself up. But once I got in that relationship, I took my foot off the gas and I tried to coast like I was taught to. Let her take the wheel. Oh, it's a 50-50 partnership. Does not work. It does not work. The thing is, she'll go along with it for a period of time, but she's always going to end up hating you for it, right? No matter how much she wants to love you for it, she does not want to build for you. What she wants to do is hand you the materials and the bricks and stuff like that and help you keep, you know, give you a drink of water when you're thirsty, right? That's basically what a woman's role is in helping you build. A lot of guys just try to put her on the front line, and that's where the woman ends up not liking you as much as and they'll always try to say, yeah, I want to be on the front line right there with you and build. No, they don't. They want to take a back seat role. They want to be, you know, be able to step up on a masculine frame if they need to, but they do not want to have to do it. They want it to be optional for them. That's what feminism has been fighting for, is they want the option to work or the option to stay at home. But now they've taken it so far, they shame women that do want to stay at home, which is hilariously ironic, but, you know, internalized, you know, misogyny. You know, they're like, that's usually what they're taught. You know, it's like, oh, well, you're, instead of doing what you want to do what we tell you to. It's like, well, you're just as bad as the old regime then. Like, you're doing the same shit, different day, you know? So,
yeah. Yeah. And it doesn't
It
work.
always comes back to you having to choose what kind of girl, once again, vetting the people. Is this girl actually going to add value to me? Right? That's what my girl does. She supports me financially. Like I said, I don't lie about that. She's the breadwinner right now. I put myself in that situation, a blue pill paradigm, and now I'm having to work my way out of that in a red pill paradigm. Right? And so far, like I said, I haven't made what you would consider major progress, but one step every day. And as long as my girl sees that I'm making progress every single day and I have ambition and a desire to win, she can trust me to be a winner. Doesn't matter if I haven't crossed that finish line yet. She knows I will because I've demonstrated that I'm not going to give the fuck up. That's the biggest problem most men have nowadays is they want to give up. They want to go their own way. They want to bow out. They want to say, oh, fuck this shit, I'm out. You know, like America's doomed, leave. I view that as cowardice. I take a very strong stance on that. I view a lot of the rhetoric that goes on as feeding in to that kind of KGB mindset. Oh, the left always talking about how communism is the better system than capitalism. But then you see guys, oh, the capitalist system is on fire. Let's get the fuck out and go to a different country. The thing is, the country's on fire. Who's going to put the fire out? How are you going to put the fire out? That's what I'm asking myself. How do you put those fires out rather than just abandoning the house and letting it burn to the ground, right? The country hasn't burned to the ground. The country is still thriving, but a lot of people have been taught to give up in one way or another, to abandon what this country is founded on, which is freedom and the pursuit of happiness. It doesn't say the success of happiness. It says the pursuit of happiness. The thing that makes you happy is the pursuit of happiness. It's all about the journey. And this is where, like you said, a lot of girls get it mixed up. They want to just get on the finish line and enjoy the fruits of the labor without having to even witness the effort it took to get there. So they ultimately don't end up appreciating it. That's why I prefer a girl like my girl, because she wanted to hitch on to my ride and go like, okay, I want to see where this is going. This looks like it's going somewhere good, somewhere fun, somewhere successful. And I fell off. I tried to go off road. I tried to take some shortcuts. It didn't work. So instead of taking the shortcuts, I just stick to the highway and figure out what actually works. And so now my girl can see that I have a trajectory. She can see the path, right? Because I tell guys, I don't sell my girl the dream. I paint her a vision of my future. And that allows her something to aspire to. She wants to be in that vision of the future. And so she does what it takes to ensure her place in that future. And a lot of guys got to get that shit right in their own head before they actually get success. Hope that makes sense.
No, it makes sense. And Myron made some good points in his book when he talks about relationships. But this part is for the women. Ladies, I'm telling you, you have to get your hypergamous nature under control. Once you pick the guy, go ahead and stick. But there's a couple things I want to say. It's a couple comments I wanted to read from Miss AKA Lady, which I love having her here. You know, she always has thoughtful insight. And I'm about to read it. Wonderful 34s in the house. So is Brother Jose. What's good, y'all? How y'all feeling? Welcome. Again, my day ones. I'm glad y'all are here. So Miss AKA Lady say, you know how I feel about that 80% shit. I don't feel like merch. You have to be extremely successful to be attractive, but you have to be stable, driven, and consistent. The upper portion of that 80% is decent. I hear you, but again, we're talking about, just generally speaking, most women, they want the best they can get. I'm not mad. You know what I mean? I'm not mad at that strategy, but women, you have to do that realistically. You know what I mean? You can't just hold out for Prince Charming. If I don't get a lord, a prince, or a king, then I'm just gonna get some dogs and cats and die alone. You can't do that. And Miss AKA Lady continues, I think there's a difference between building with someone when you're young, I guess vetting on someone to be successful, or when you're young V's betting on someone to be successful after 35 plus years of being unsuccessful. After a certain age, you got to get it together. I think when you build like for me, I look at it this way, ladies. I look at it this way. When you build with the right man, you make that choice, you build with that man. That man is a true leader. he is going to be the best version of himself that he can possibly be, and you're going to push him to be that guy as well. You're going to support him in those efforts, and y'all all benefit from the fruits of his labor. But if you choose a deadbeat, that's on you. You have to choose the guy that is driven. You have to choose the guy who's the leader. You have to choose the guy who is going to be the best for both of you. You know what I mean? The head of the household, and support that guy. I only know a few people who've had really successful relationships from start to finish. And there's one couple I talk about them all the time. I was there at the beginning, and I'm here now. And I saw all the work that went into it, both sides. So I know there are good women out there because I know some of them. I've seen them. You know what I mean? Shout out to Sister Naya and my dude Jay Swans. I've seen it from the beginning to the end. And it's not the end, it's just like they're still going. But I watched them build their, you know what I mean, their world. I watched them build their castle. I watched them build their kingdom. And she was essential to that growth. He chose wisely. She chose wisely. And they complement each other. He never cheated. He didn't exercise options. He's a top tier guy in every category. Right? But he'll say this in a minute. He's like, I owe my success to my woman. He chose properly. He could have chose anyone. He chose the right one. So that's all I'm saying about that. Don't be out there monkey branching and thinking the grass is greener, because more than likely it's not. You know what I mean? You have any you have a take on that, Brother Viking?
Yeah, there's a lot of not shit dudes out there, and the problem is that quite a few of them are only there because they think they're supposed to be. Right? That's the thing, is that's part of the trick that has been taught to guys. Like I said, a lot of guys take the foot off the gas, even guys like me that are naturally masculine in many ways, right? And understand, not tolerating bullshit from people. Still can fall off once you get in that situation, because once again, life is 10% of what happens and 90% of how you react to it, right? And that's I can't remember who gave that quote, but that's a good quote because it goes back to understanding the Pareto principle. The 80-20 rule does exist across all areas of existence that science has been able to look at, right? There's always an accumulation. The success leads to more success. Failure leads to lots of failure. There's always going to be lots of failure because not everybody can learn, right? Not everything can be self-improving like that. But the parts that do, there's always an accumulation. That's why, if I was just going to the club alone when I was down in Miami, I would have had to pay. But because I'm going with, Fresh, with Icy, with Mo, with Kyan, those people put me on, I get to walk into that club for free and can take all the advantages of that, vicarious clout, just as an example, and understanding how to move in those situations. And once again, a girl trying to finesse me out of money and stuff like that. And I just outplayed her in the game, right? I got what I wanted. She didn't get what she wanted. The house won, right? And so they want to have me back. Their guys are giving me compliments on my drip and, how clean my nails are and stuff like that, because I'm a solid dude. So I'm getting compliments. That's why I was saying before, like to me, it's crazy when people talk about the big cities, hostile and stuff like that. I didn't get any of that down in Miami. Why? Because I carried myself differently, right? And I knew that I needed to do that ahead of time. And a lot of guys, they do not want to embrace that masculine burden of performance. As a man, you will become a dude worthwhile when you embrace that burden of performance, meaning that you have to perform every single day, rain or shine. There are no breaks. That's the thing but that's exhausting. The thing is, if you train yourself well, it won't be exhausting. But most dudes have never tasted the victory of training themselves to become that man. And there's lots of women, flipping it back over to the ladies' side, there's lots of women out there that don't understand their own nature of what they like. They like the bad boys, but they want the good guy when they settle down. That's the dualistic, nature. Now, if women can, they prefer to find a guy that can do both, that can be a long-term provider, but is also very alpha, and the alpha fucks versus the beta bucks. The guy can be, you can have both in one. I'm kind of proof of this. I'm not, and I'm not going to say that for sure that I'm proof of this because I'm still leveling, but I try to be that example of somebody that can provide both long-term security and short-term fun, right? Because that's the dualistic nature of female nature. And a lot of them want to deny it because, once again, women don't want to reveal their hand. That's understandable. That's biologically smart. But when you are dealing with today's men, you have to understand, just as much as it's on the man to understand he needs to vet women and business partners, it is as much on the woman to vet a guy that's actually got real ambition and a real trajectory. And money does not mean that he will. Myron talks about this all the time. The money, what you do to make the money does make a difference, because you could be a rich drug dealer, but not know shit and still be not shit, right? You know, doing some shady stuff to get ahead, right? But if you actually bust your ass, network with people, build up in a real network of masculine people, guys that are actually going to follow through, be respectable rather than demanding and assuming they're going to be respected, that's when you can build a real team that can get stuff done, aka the Fresh and Fit podcast. The team, you know, this is why I always kind of cringe when guys are like saying that, oh, you need to replace Fresh or you need to replace Chris. They don't know any of the shit that goes on behind the scenes. They don't understand how much value though they offer to the team and how much they take off of Myron's plate so Myron can be as awesome as he is. Myron shines the way he shines because he built a team around himself that allows him to do so, because he's an extremely intelligent man and he's very good at problem solving and he's obsessed with success. Right? Not to the point of pathology where it becomes a problem, but he's committed to his vision of the future. And that's why he continues to make progress and why I continue to back him as fervently as I do. It's not because I haven't understood the true character of the man. It's because I have understood the true character of the man. I hope this makes sense.
And here's the thing too. When we're talking about this burden of performance, right? This masculine burden of performance, it includes loyalty. You know, you got the song out here, they say these hoes ain't loyal. Well, these dudes ain't loyal. You got guys out here throw you under the bus for some chick he's simping on. He's a simpleton, so he'll throw you under the bus so he can get at the chick. You got to stay loyal. Women see that, bro. You think you winning by telling on the other dude? You think you winning by putting his business out there? All you doing is building that guy's attraction to that woman. Oh, he ain't no good. He a bad boy. He a player. He this, he that. Word. She going to be over there howling at him. Why you over here trying to, you know, simp away and give all this money up. So loyalty, gentlemen, is part of that as well. You must be loyal to your clan. You know, that comment you made about taking your foot off the gas. I've been talking about this lately. You know, I got into the FA in 1998. You know, so within the early 2000s, I was in six figures. I was making money. I'm in LA. I'm doing good things. Started, you know, getting into the entertainment business. I was doing other things, making more money. I took my foot off the gas. It's on me. I took my foot off the gas. I sat back. I was just fat, dumb, and happy, bro. I'm out here. I'm running people. I'm running chicks. I'm out here. You know, I was an LA cool guy, right? I was a cool kid. Like what Brother Cody is saying here, like, you know, always grease the bouncers unless I know them. And then even then, sometimes you still grease their palms or whatever. I ain't waiting in no lines. I was networking with the cool kids. I could get in anywhere. I could get into private events, red carpet events. I was in every club in LA, chasing women, having fun. I had my share. But how much money did I leave on the table, bro? Those were the prime years of my life. Right? I wasn't even listening to the money people because I'm so busy trying to chase after these women. If I listened to the money people, people were telling me back then, buy real estate. In LA in the early 2000s, they were telling me to buy real estate and I didn't do it. How much did that cost me? It cost me about $1.7 million. I know exactly how much it cost because it was a property I was looking at and I didn't pull the trigger, and I go back and look at it now and I'm like, oh, I done made this much money. That one move. People were telling me about crypto. They were telling me about Bitcoin when Bitcoin was pennies on the dollar. And I didn't do it. How much money did that cost me? At least 60 million. I was too focused on playing and having a good time because I had reached my goals. I got out of the streets alive. I made it. You know what I mean? I'm not in the hood no more. I'm out here in LA living good. I'm in Studio City living a good life, got money and all this. Status, clout, traveling the world. I took my foot off the gas. It only hurt me. Right? There was no YouTube back then. You know what I mean? There was no, you know, this wasn't a thing. The people who were trying to help me out, I personally didn't listen to them, and that's on me. I take responsibility for that. So you must keep your foot on the gas. You must constantly reevaluate your situation. You must understand your mission and update your mission. Once you accomplish one mission, you need to set a mission. What's my mission? What are the new goals? What are my new objectives? You should be constantly doing that as a man. And when we talk about the top 20, what is it about the top 20 that women like? Is it the fact that these guys are tall? Is it the fact that these guys are in shape because they have money and all that? Those aren't the reasons. Like Brother Viking was saying, the money is just a qualifier, right? The Lambo, Freshton said this 100 times. The Lamborghini means nothing. You can't drive the Lamborghini into the club, into the lounge. You ain't driving your Lamborghini into the section. It doesn't mean anything. And most girls don't even know what that car is. It's just a qualifier. The traits it takes to attain these things. Shout out to Myron. The traits it takes to attain these things, women find attractive. That's what it takes. The fact that you built this empire makes you attractive. It makes you a powerful man. It makes you a leader, right? It makes you a winner. They want to taste that victory that you tasted. So that's what it is about the top 20. It's those traits, and anyone can get those traits, and it's hard work. Brothers, gentlemen, y'all need to step up and do the work. Those things will make you attractive to most women. You know what I mean? Dr. B, I actually agree with Miss A Lady about building with the guy when he's young versus trying to jump on when he's made it. It's an underrated game for women that can have some great benefits. Facts. Ladies, y'all need to, like in that movie, Indiana Jones, man, The Last Crusade, they were looking for the cup of Christ. They were looking for the Holy Grail. And one guy picked up this cup. He's like, this is like Jesus' cup. And he drank from it and he turned into bones and dust. And the old knight was like, yeah, he chose poorly, right? You need to choose wisely. Ladies, you need to choose wisely. Dr. B continues, he'll have a hard time letting you go at the point as opposed to not even looking your way when you try to hop on later in life. And he's right about that. There's a shift. I put out a 14-minute quick short today. We talk about that. Ladies, when you get past 30, I'm sorry, it gets harder in the dating world. You've lost the leverage. It just is what it is. If you're still shooting for those top tier guys, if you're shooting for the top tier guys, ladies at 35, 45 years old, it's going to be way harder than when you were, 22, 25, 27. It is what it is. So you have to adjust accordingly. Brother Vikings, any thoughts on that?
Well, it comes back down to understanding people need to work for things. This goes for all human beings. If you get something for free, you don't appreciate it. And so these women that try to jump on the winners at the finish line, and they don't really have anything to offer because they don't know that man, right? So the only thing they have to offer is sex, and they wonder why they keep getting used and abused by these guys. It's because you're just, an extra bonus reward at the finish line to them, right? Whereas the guy that's going to commit to a woman, he's recognizing the girl that's been through the trenches with him, right? The girl that's actually witnessed. She was a witness for all the bullshit. My girl has full context of how I was when we first got together, how far I sunk, and she's seen me rise to the challenge, aka the hero's journey, as you will, right? She's seen that. So now she's more invested. And when I ask her, that's why going back to the question that was, why, giving less and asking more, it's kind of like, I don't have the Greta, tuned up or queued up right now, but how dare you, right? How dare you, give your girl less and ask for more? It's like, because that's how a successful relationship works. The girl has to be pursuing you. My girl pursues me. She tries to retain me. When she messes up, I call her on it, and I use patience and assertiveness to do so.
Misogyny.
They always want to go back to shaming the responsible behavior. As a man, you have to be responsible. And going back to what we were talking about, part of being respectable is being loyal to people who have been loyal to you. Myron is extremely big on this. Right now, doesn't mean you can't cut ties with somebody if they turn and become a liability to themselves. There's a nuance there, right? Context and nuance, the two biggest things that are lost on people that are the smallest that you can imagine. And in that case, in terms of loyalty, being loyal to somebody who's being disloyal to you, that's not a good equation, right? Because then they're just taking advantage of you. So you need to understand the nuance there in terms of loyalty. Loyalty as DL Satan said, mentioned before, makes you respectable. It's a component of respectability in a man when you're loyal to the people, your tribe, that are backing you up, even when the going gets tough. Because as we say, you find out who your friends are when the going gets tough, right? That is true in business, in dating, whatever it is. You find out who the real ones are when you're down bad and you take a hit, boom, near knockout blow to the chin, go down to one knee, and now you got to struggle back up a little bit groggy. You find out who your real friends are, because the fake ones are probably going to kick you in the ribs, and the real friends are going to bring a hand over and help you up. Not a hand out, a hand up.
A hand up. That's what's up. That is absolute. That's facts. You cannot get through this on your own, people. You got to have a team. And that, again, when I saw that, I'm gonna stay on that too, about young men not having friends. That's ridiculous. Get out there, join the dojo, join the gym, get involved in some sort of sport. But I don't know how to play any sports. It doesn't matter. Go join a co-ed softball league, or basketball league. Yeah, do something. Get out there and meet people in the real world. Not this fake stuff. In the real world. The only reason I haven't met this brother sitting right here on the split screen is I couldn't make it to Miami the time he was down there. Best believe I'm going to meet this man. We're going to, we're going to break bread. We're going to sit down. We're going to fellowship. Best believe that. You know what I mean? So, man, this has been good. I'm so glad you were here, bro. I think we've done a good job covering this, man. I want to roll into final thoughts, man. Get your final thoughts on the masculine burden of performance.
I just always try to remind people, you need to remind yourself, don't you criticizing everybody else. As the Bible says, when you point the finger, beware of the three pointing back at you, right? A lot of guys don't remember that. They forget that the masculine burden of performance always falls back onto you and doing what you need to do to better yourself. But then if you really want to win, you can't just be selfish. You need to benefit other people around you. And that's how you inspire a tribe, a team, whatever you want to call it, that will have your back when the going gets tough, right? The reason why I had such, shout out to Mo and the Fresh Fit team. The reason why I had such a good time down there is because all the people down there, when the going was rough for me, I had some issues down there, right? With the shipping and stuff like that of equipment last minute. I had some problems with Amazon app and it fucked me over. But the whole team made it very easy for me. People bought food for me. They made sure that, I didn't have to suffer those extra logistics that came up. And Mo was a big part of making sure that I got around and was able to get to the studio and do the work that I did. Fresh showing up, and he picked me up. He was trying out the Aston Martin for the first time, and that's how he picked me up when I went to fix his internet. I'm in his vlog because of it. So it always comes back down to you. You always have to remember it starts with you. All the change you want to see in the world has to start with you, and you can't be invested in the outcomes, right? Outcome dependence. A lot of guys get outcome dependent. They think because they act a certain way that then they're going to get that respect. I am not entitled to respect from any man, any woman, anyone. I act respectable, and then the people worth a damn will respect me. Hate always comes from below, remember. So the people really hating on you, it's because they're not doing as well as you and they want to kneecap you, right? But then you also got to remember the nuance of paying attention to constructive criticism from people who actually do matter and that do have your back and have shown that through action, not just word. I'll leave one last lesson that my father taught me. He said, the easiest way to spot a liar is to take their words and their actions, compare them side by side. If they match, you're most likely dealing with somebody that's telling you the truth. If the actions and the words are not matching up and they're inconsistent, they're probably bullshitting you and you need to be aware of them. So hope that helps.
It absolutely does. Facts. Y'all know what it is. That's a win rant right there, bro. You know what I mean? And shout out to you, brother, for coming on. And bro, I can't thank you enough. This was amazing. This was absolutely amazing.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, man, I look forward to working with you in the future. And I really, truly look forward to sitting down and breaking bread. When we get to Miami, bro, I got you. Dinner with Uncle Saint. It's on me. We're going to be somewhere all bougie and posh, having a good old time. You know what I mean? Trust me when I tell you, because that's how I rock. You know what I mean? So thanks again, bro. I really appreciate it. That's one more time for you. And just hang out in the back, bro. I'll wrap it up. I'll be right there with you, man. So thanks again. So, man, I ain't gonna lie to you, man. This was a powerful one right here, y'all. Powerful right here, man. I'm so glad that Brother Viking was able to come up and holler at us, man. Sister Reba, loyalty is key to creating strong and healthy personal and professional relationships. Absolutely true. Could not agree more. And this link right here is in the chat. Yo, this is for Brother Mose, man. Go back and check it out. It's in the chat. This is a link to his music, man. Check out his music. Support what he's doing. The brother is so talented and he's just doing great things. I happen to know that he's going to be shooting another video pretty soon. I'm going to be down there for that. You know what I mean? I'm going to be down there for that. So just wanted to show the rest of the chats. You know what I mean? This was a great show. Brothers, there is a masculine burden of performance. Gentlemen, there's no getting around it. You got to step up. You got to step up. I don't care what your mom and daddy told you. I don't care. Everyone does not get a trophy. Like Brother Viking says, you need to taste victory. You just need to do it. You need to drag yourself out the basement. Get into the gym. If you don't want to go to the gym, just walk. Just force yourself to walk. Force yourself to stop drinking sodas. Stop eating all the sweets. Right? Cook. Go out and get another job. Read. If you're going to read, might as well start with this book right here, Why Women Deserve Left by Myron Gaines. Read. Educate yourself. Figure it out. Become the best version of yourself. And guess what? When you do that, women will come as a byproduct of your success. Again, shout out to Fresh and Fit, Rollo Tomasi, Rich Cooper, Donovan Sharp, Coach Red Pill, Coach Greg Adams, and all the rest. You know what I mean? There is a place for this Red Pill content. The manosphere or the mano swamp, however you want to call it, is definitely needed. Gentlemen, do not be afraid to invest in yourself. Invest. Right? If you're a networker, invest in Fresh's Network. That link's in the chat as well. Go back and find it. Go look into it. Invest. If you don't want to invest with him, invest with someone else. Don't be afraid to invest in yourself. Like, I can't afford it. Drive Uber, do Uber Eats, do something. Go out there and make you $1,200. $1,200 for the year. Go make the money. There are people like me out there. Go see Lucario. They have a conference coming up in April in New York. Invest in yourself. Go there. Go fellowship with these men. Like-minded men. Go find out how they won. Go find out where their lessons were. Become better. If you're in the Tampa area, come holler at me. Come holler at me. We're going to be at Edge tomorrow here in Tampa, 8 p.m. We're going to be at Edge, a rooftop joint here in Tampa, just off of Howard. If you're in the Tampa area, you're more than welcome to come join us. It's going to be a lot of people there from the Fresh and Fit fam. There's going to be some people out there that I network with in Tampa. The event is free. My events are going to be free up front for now, but eventually it's going to cost you. At some point, you're going to have to invest. Because the game is to be sold, not told. I hope y'all had a good time. I really hope y'all enjoyed this. This was a great show. I know I enjoyed it. Thank you so much to Brother Viking Paradigm. You're going to be seeing more of him over here because I'm going to keep asking, like, man, come on. Shout out to Big Mo, who was in the chat. He's in the gym now. Shout out to you, Big Mo, almost shedding 100 pounds. He's on his way to losing 100 pounds. It hasn't even been that long, really. Shout out to Mo for doing that. And shout out to all my people, all my day ones. Shout out to the Fresh and Fit Discord, right? Shout out to all the Joes out here who was out here supporting me and being here. My day ones, I appreciate y'all so much. We're going to keep bringing this content, y'all. We're going to keep bringing it as best we can. You know what I mean? Shout out to Miss AKA Lady, always keeping me on my toes. I wish Miss Globe Girl was here. I did a short and I dedicated it to her because she was saying that she hasn't seen any videos of boss babes who are wishing they weren't boss babes and mad because of decisions they made. Well, I found some and it's on the short. So with all that said, man, it's time for us to go, man. I'm DL Saint. This is the DL Saint I Really Want to Know podcast, man. I'm going to talk to y'all later. Peace.
Darn, that's the end.